Good afternoon everyone, I hope you are well. This is Andy at Audi Upgrades. Today I've had a customer drop off this lovely 2017 Audi S5 Coupe, and we're doing two main retrofits on this over the next few days. And that is, again, we're changing, from my previous videos you may have seen, we're changing the internal white ambient lighting into the multicolored ambient lighting. So we're going to take all the existing white lighting out of the vehicle, install the multicolored lighting, and this is the OEM factory option, no aftermarket or third-party solutions here. This is the real option from the factory. As you know now, don't really do anything else other than OEM options. On the A5 and A4, there is a third-party kit for lighting for the dashboard and on the top of the center console, but we're not going to be installing that because that is not an OEM option. But we're going to be taking out all the standard white lighting and fitting in the multicolored ambient lighting in the two front doors, in the rear passenger compartment, and in the lower center consoles and so forth, and the pocket lights and footwell lights and so forth. Second retrofit we're doing is this car is going to have keyless entry, so we're going to be fitting keyless entry to the two front doors, and we're also going to be fitting the boot gesture release system to the rear bumper to allow the customer to be able to kick their leg under the rear bumper, and that will release the boot. Now on the S5 Coupe it isn't a power tailgate, it's a sprung tailgate, so the boot gesture will open the boot and the boot will raise up because the springs are loaded to do so, but the boot gesture doesn't close the boot like for example on a Q5 or a Q7 where there's a power tailgate, because there's no power to actually draw it back down. So the boot release is just going to be for opening the boot, and then you shut the boot by hand afterwards. The customer wanted two additional extras fitted to the vehicle. First one was keyless entry to the two front doors. Obviously it's only a two-door vehicle, and the second was the customer had the interior white lighting as standard, and I've now replaced that with the full multicolored ambient lighting from the factory. So just to clarify again, this is the OEM option from the factory. This is not an aftermarket kit or third-party solution. This is only the genuine parts from the factory, genuine parts from Audi, fitted as if it was fitted as it rolled off the production line. Obviously with keyless entry, again, everyone has their own opinion of it, but from a convenience factor, certainly a convenience and helpful when getting in and out of the vehicle. Just need to have the key in your pocket. We've replaced and added the sensors into the two door handles in this vehicle, wired it into the car. We had to replace a control module in the vehicle as well because the current one didn't support keyless entry, because obviously it was left the factory without it. So I've replaced that and registered that against the vehicle as I'm VW approved to do so, and then we've enabled keyless entry after that, similar to a Q7 that I recently did in another video. So obviously just having the key in your hand or in your pocket, and just grab the handle and the car will now unlock, and then you can just swipe your finger on the back of the door handle and the car locks. Obviously the same on the other side of the vehicle. In addition, we have fitted to the boot here, the boot gesture where you kick your foot under the rear bumper. Hi there everyone, right, so I've set the camera up just outside the driver's door of this 2018 Audi S5 Coupe. I'm going to try and demonstrate the ambient lighting to you. It's a little bit difficult because I'm sitting here and my legs are blocking some of the lights, and it's a little bit light outside, so there's still a bit of daylight shining in, but I'll do my best to show you here. So when the car is off, the white LED is, the multicolored LED is lit up in white on these bits of trim here. So these bits of trim have been replaced with new bits of trim. So it's got these LED strips in them, and one here on the driver's door just out of camera shot. So they're lit up white. The footwell lights are white. These are lit up white under here. You can't really see that, but I promise you they are on all four. But otherwise all the other lights are off, so the cup holders down here on the center console, up here, the pocket lights and so forth, they're all off when the car is in this off position. So the lights are on auto. This is kind of standard position for the light switch on the car. I'm going to turn the car on. The car will have a beep. It's because there's a brake warning. The brake pads are a little low on this car, so it's just a brake warning error on the dash. So I'm just going to turn the car on now, and I think the lights are set to red and purple currently. So I'm going to turn the car on. And you can see here straight away this is lit up purple here, so this lights up. You can see a bit of a purple tinge there just shining onto the pedals. If I hold my hand you might be able to just see, but it's a bit light. And down here as well is lit up purple. This LED here has now gone red. and the same for the one on the driver's door, and obviously the pocket lights on the driver's door, and the background lighting on the driver's door is purple as well. Just as up here, you just can't see because it's just out of shot, but I promise you that is purple. And then in the back, obviously this is only a 2-door coupe, so the back panels have got 2 LEDs in them, one across the top strip which was white, and we've replaced that with the multicolored one, and then the pocket LED, which is this little, I wonder if I move my hand out of the way, this little there's a little pocket LED here just where my hand is. You just can't, if I can just move back a little bit further, there we go. Hopefully you can see that it's just lit up purple there. So these pocket LEDs are then added to all 4 panels, so the 2 front doors and the 2 rear panels here. So there's 2 LEDs now in the back, whereas when he originally had white lighting there was only the 1 white LED. So it's one thing to remember, it's not just replacing the white LEDs for the multicolored ones, but actually when you go to multicolored you actually get additional lighting. So these strips here were white and these are replaced with the multicolored ones. The drinks holder lights were white and they're replaced with multicolored ones. These strips didn't even exist in the white lighting, this red strip here, and on the other side, so they've been they're basically new. And as I say, the pocket LEDs here, these pocket LEDs here and on the driver's door and on the 2 back panels don't exist in the white lighting, so they're new as well. So it's not just replacing the existing, but it's also adding additional lighting. You probably can't see the screen that well, but if I go into car vehicle settings and background lighting, if I for example switch to blue, you can see here, this is the easiest one for you guys to see on the camera, but you can see here this has gone blue up here where my hand is. The pocket LED here is now blue and the drinks holders are blue, so it's they call it maritime blue. Impulse red, I can change everything to red. You can still have contour white, so I can set everything back to white, but obviously the additional LEDs are also white as well. There's a sport red, which is a mixture of which is a mixture of red and white. So red up here, but the rest is white. They call it sport red. And that's only on the, we apply that when it is only on the S models or RS model vehicles. So not on, for example, a standard A5, but on a S5 or RS5, for example, sport red. And then you've got Audi Drive Select mode. So Audi Drive Select mode will actually change the color depending on the drive select mode. So here the car is actually in comfort mode at the moment from a drive select perspective, so everything goes yellow. That's what it classes as yellow. If I change this to efficiency, everything goes white. If I change it to auto's still on white. Dynamic, everything, these strips go to red, and so it's not a great addition, to be honest. They could have thought of some more colors, but it's there if you wanted it. But if I go back to the, let's go back to Impulse red. So here everything is red, pocket lights are red. But if I go to individual, so individual allows you to customize the colors how you want. So you can customize these strips are separate to these strips, and the cup holders and the center console and the pocket lights. So the pocket lights, the center console, the drinks holders, the footwells, and these what we call background lights, they're all the same color under individual, but the front LEDs here are a separate color. So you can have this one color and these ones a different color, hence why this is red and this is purple. On a 4-door car, these strips exist on the back doors as well, but on a 2-door car they do not. So if I go to line lighting color, I've currently got it set on red, and hopefully you can see if I turn this around, it will go through the yellows, the greens, the blues. It's a 32 color palette all the way around to purple. So I could set this to green, for example. There we go. And then if I choose surface lighting, which is what it calls all the lighting on the surface, including the footwells. As you can see, it's currently purple, but if I turn the dial, I can go through the blues, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and all the way around to white again. So again, I can choose a red, you know, you can kind of cyan, magenta, you know, take your pick really. And so you can have those 2 individual colors, and these are stored on the key. So if you've got 2 keys, which you should have, the color settings are stored against the vehicle key. So if you've got, for example, you and your partner has got a key each, you can have your colors on this key, and then when they get in the car, they can set their colors, and the colors are linked to the respective key, which is quite a nice little feature. So that's really it. I just kind of wanted to give a bit more of a demonstration of what that looks like. I hope it was helpful. Yeah, it took about a day and a half to do the ambient lighting, and then about another day to do the well, about just under a day to do the keyless entry. Obviously there's only 2 doors on this vehicle, so only half the number of doors to deal with. But we've had the car here for 3 days, so the customer's coming to collect the car today. We've given it a hoover out, given it a bit of a clean inside. We haven't washed the outside of the car. That's not what we will do, but we've just given the inside a bit of a clean and a wipe down, just to get rid of any marks and so forth, keep it nice and clean. And now we're going to hand the vehicle back to the customer. So hope that was of interest, and many thanks. Cheers everyone, take care.